What if a single moment of curiosity in your youth created consequences that would haunt you for the rest of your life? What if that moment didn't just affect you, but changed the course of history itself? This is the story of Princess Kunti, and a secret that would become one of the greatest tragedies in Hindu mythology. Long before the Great War of Kurukshetra, before the Pandavas were even born, there lived a young princess named Kunti in the kingdom of Kuntiboja. She was known for her grace, intelligence, and devotion. But her life was about to change forever because of an extraordinary gift and a fateful decision. One day, the notoriously short-tempered sage Durvasa arrived at her father's palace. Now, Durvasa was famous throughout the three worlds for his fierce temper and powerful curses. Kunti's father entrusted her with the crucial task of serving the sage during his stay. For an entire year, the young princess attended to Durvasa with unwavering dedication, patience, and respect. She never complained, never faltered, and always anticipated his needs before he even asked. Impressed by her exceptional service, Sage Durvasa decided to reward Kunti with an extraordinary boon. He taught her a powerful mantra, a mystical invocation that could summon any deity of her choosing. The god she called would bless her with a child bearing their divine qualities. It was a gift of immense power, meant to be used wisely when the time was right. But Kunti was young, perhaps 15 or 16 years old. And like any young person given something extraordinary, she was curious. Did the mantra really work? Was it truly as powerful as the sage claimed? One morning, as the sun rose over the palace, Kunti stood alone in her chambers. The golden rays of dawn filtered through her window. In that moment of youthful curiosity, she decided to test the mantra. She chose Surya, the sun god himself, thinking perhaps that invoking a deity during his own hour would be appropriate. She chanted the sacred words, and to her shock and terror it worked. Surya appeared before her in all his radiant glory, his presence filling the room with divine light. The young princess was overwhelmed. She immediately realized her mistake and begged the sun god to return to his celestial abode. But divine laws cannot be broken so easily. Surya explained that once invoked through such a powerful mantra, he was bound to fulfill its purpose. He had to bless her with a child, Kunti pleaded. She was unmarried, she was young. The social consequences would be devastating. In ancient India, an unwed mother faced complete social ostracism. Her life, her family's honor, everything would be destroyed. Surya, moved by her distress, offered a compromise. He would bless her with a son who would be born with divine armor and earrings, making him nearly invincible. And most importantly, Kunti would retain her virginity. The child would be born without affecting her maiden status. It was the best protection he could offer her, and so Karna was born. A beautiful baby boy, radiant like his father, already wearing divine golden armor and earrings that were part of his very body. But Kunti looked at this divine child and saw only her ruination. Gripped by fear and shame, the young princess made a heartbreaking decision. She placed her newborn son in a basket, and with tears streaming down her face, she set him afloat on the river Ashwa. She watched as the current carried away her firstborn, hoping someone kind would find him. That someone was Adharatha, a charioteer, and his wife Radha. They discovered the divine child and raised him as their own. They named him Vasusena, though the world would come to know him as Karna, named for the earrings he wore. But this act of abandonment set in motion a chain of events that would shape the entire Mahabharata. Karna grew up believing he was the son of a charioteer, facing constant discrimination despite his obvious nobility and extraordinary abilities. The divine armor that was meant to protect him became a marker of his mysterious origins. His brilliance was overshadowed by his perceived low birth. Years later, Kunti would marry King Pandu and use the same mantra to birth the Pandavas. But she never revealed her secret. Even when Karna faced humiliation at Draupadi's Swayamvara, even when he became the greatest enemy of her other sons, she remained silent. The secret she kept to protect her honor became a poison that would eventually contribute to the greatest war in history. Karna and Arjuna, half-brothers who never knew their connection, would face each other on opposite sides of Kurukshetra. A mother would watch her eldest son fight against her other children, unable to prevent the tragedy her youthful mistake had set in motion.